knights to enter into. And also the knights can suddenly focus their fire on a specific square when they're coordinating together. You can see now we have two pieces attacking, and that can be a great outpost if you have a pawn sitting here. Suddenly that square is looking very attractive. You've got a lot of time on target there, and it can be a great outpost square for attack. If you can get a knight to that square, it's looking beautiful. Now, a knight on the rim is dim, but it's where it's going. It's using the edge as a flare out to get around the pawn mass in the center and the obstructions. The knight can go wide to swing inside. Okay, so looking at this position now, okay, I'll put that pawn aside. Now we'll build the wall again. So let's have a look, make sure I do it right. Now, so this is a very, very common feature, all right? And another way that it can play out, I knew eventually I was going to knock a piece over. So another way it can play out is the knight can advance, this knight can advance. Now they're in the buddy system. What's very strong about that is the king's line diagonal on the king can be defended and give you time to castle queenside or kingside. Castle early is very, very important principle. We'll talk about that in the castling videos. So we see the knights are pointing towards the center because that's where the grass is greenest. So now what's happened is I've actually advanced this pawn here, not just to prevent any sort of pins with the queen here, but I've actually advanced it because I actually plan on using my knights again in the opening. Do you see how the relationship with time? Every time you move the same piece twice, that's a chance where you're not moving another piece. And that's good chess is always moving a different piece in the opening until the king is castled and the heavies, the rooks, brigades, until you form a rook brigade. So to attack before then is premature, typically. Now, the knight plays back. And looking, now we have time on target here. We have this beautiful square here for the knight to attack. I'll just remove the wall energy. And so he plays back, and now what does that do? It frees up the knight to come in with the buddy system, and now, assuming you can, you can actually see this now. Now the knights are actually coordinating on a different square. Can you? My last question is: can you see the square that those knights are spending time on target? Can you see where they're focused together on? Well, is it this square? That seems like you're going backwards. Going backwards with pieces that can go from one end of the board to the other is not a problem. Going backwards with a piece that takes time to move is a bit, you got to be very careful with that. And so do you see the square? Do you see it? All right, that's all the time I'm going to give you. Well, the time they're spending on square, or time on target, is this center square here. Now, we're going to talk about the knight's relationship to the center in another video. Okay, and it's very, very important. So right now, I'll be very happy if you saw where they were focusing together on. Once again, pointing the knights to the center reminds you what it's all about. Center control. From the center, you have the most activity, you have the most control, and it is about control. And, we'll get to that. So there you have it, the knight's relationship with time. Every move is a tempo. And just to remind you, it takes time to form a brigade. It takes as much time to form a brigade as it does to reach the other side of the board. And typically, you want to form brigades when the center's closed or controlled, it's occupied, it's slowed down, there's no easy way for them to open it and start romper stomping. The knight, so you've got time to form your brigade. And remember, the aim of the game is checkmating the king. So getting your pieces together on the same side in a brigade, on the same half of the board, okay, the same half as their enemy king, it can be a faster attack than your opponent's defense. So next video, we will discuss the knight's relationship to the center. We'll discuss that because it's so important. All right, take care. Bye.